My boss is a micromanager and my job isn't fulfilling me at all. I want to leave, but there aren't too many options around at the moment, and at least I'm employed and I'm paying my rent. How do I manage it?
Okay, well, I mean, congratulations on this person, first of all, on making a tough decision, because in that instance, I think both ways are hard, you know, to leave when there isn't much options out there, and not have job security, and to choose to stay in a situation where you clearly see that there are problems. But I think in this instance, it's about perhaps reframing what you can control in that situation. So with micromanagement, it really is, it erodes people's confidence. And so just noticing or watching out for your own confidence in this process of having a micromanager, and documenting your wins, you know, externalizing the energy that's coming towards you rather than personalizing it. So what I mean by that is that often when you reframe it as, this is my manager's need to control, or this is my manager's issue or way of dealing with things, it doesn't reflect my capabilities, or it doesn't reflect, you know, my skill set, and not taking it personally, if you like, you know. So kind of trying to be as immune to it as much as you can, and knowing that hopefully with this decision to stay, you know that it's only going to be temporary until there is a better time to go, so that your job is just a stepping stone for what's next. It's not the destination. And with that in mind, perhaps focusing some of your energies in other parts of your identity outside of work, you know, relationships, hobbies, health, things that fulfill you, if clearly work might not be the place to be getting that.
Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Because it's, I think, like, we work for a very long time. And so whilst this bit, it might feel like it's tough, there will also be other things happen on the horizon, or being able to go, actually, you know what, I'm going to get my meaning and my fulfillment from somewhere else during this stage, but I'm going to keep the money coming in. Again, it comes back to some of that idea of control, doesn't it? There's I read a book recently, actually I read half of it, called Working on Purpose. I know it sounds like a cop-out. I kind of got the gist. But it was good. It was good because it breaks down what you really want from work. And it's like, is work something that pays the bills and rent, or gets you to a certain kind of social and lifestyle status? Or is work something that gives you meaning and fulfillment? Or is it something that challenges you and that you want to learn and get better at? And even just, it doesn't always have to be like the one thing that you decide on and that's what you've got to stick with for the rest of your life. But being able to go, hey, you've got the option to sort of turn on and off where you get meaning and fulfillment from.
And in that case, as you say, maybe, you know, if this person has put a lot of their eggs in that basket of work being their identity, it would really affect them a lot more. And this would be an opportunity to kind of focus on other areas of your life that you can feel good about, right? While you're trying to weather the storm and wait for a better opportunity or time for you to leave, to exit. So I sometimes with these things, you know, hopefully you can find the silver lining in the dark cloud.
Yeah. Chris, Aileen, you just brought up something there about work as identity. And that has come up in the past. And also it's one of those things that where you go, if work is my identity, and then suddenly you don't have work, or work isn't going well, that instant connection is that, well, I don't know who I am, and I don't know if I'm doing well. A lot of your work, Chris, is also your identity. How do you manage that?
No, I manage it really poorly. I find this conversation really interesting because I think it ties into, for me, it also ties into that this concept. People love to talk about feedback and client feedback or rejection of work, as people have to go, don't take it personally. It's about the work. It's about the work. And I've always hated that viewpoint, because even if your identity isn't tied to your work, let's just say at base level you really care about your work and you care about having created something or made something of value that you've crafted, you spent all this time on. I have never been able to make that distinction between work and personal. Like to me, it is very personal because I care about it and I do it. It's not, I'm not in a job where, where I'm not attached to that, to the product of the process with a lot of head and heart. So in terms of it being my identity, it's something that I absolutely have not figured out how to separate. It's very much tied to how I feel about myself. It's very much connected to what kind of work am I making, what kind of work is the studio making, how is it traveling, what's my output like? Do I feel like I'm doing a lot of good work? Do I feel like we've been quiet? All of those things are, and I assume this is a bad thing, are tied to my self-worth. So, but also, I don't know any other way to do it.
But it's only a bad thing if you can't be kind to yourself and reconcile it with yourself, right?
Well, that's what I struggle with. I guess that's just a work in progress. Yeah, that's constantly a work in progress for me. So yeah, but I've never felt any other way about it either. So yeah. Can we just make the rest of the session about that? Maybe just.
Well, I was going to say. So now we're going to go into breakout rooms, and Chris and Aileen are going to go into room 1.
And Aileen's going to help you figure it out.
I was going to say, think about like the little stool analogy. It's okay to have work as a part of your identity, and as a creative, I feel like you do put a lot of yourself in the work, so it is personal because it's your original ideas and that's what being a creative is. But I think like if you think about a stool, there's like 2 other legs to a stool for it to stand, so if one kind of falls apart, you've got kind of a little bit wobbly, and you've got the more legs you have on that, the better it is potentially. So and perhaps it's starting off as that, as perhaps a young creative, but hopefully over time that you become more than just your job, your business.
Totally, yeah. And look, I think I guess I should reframe it and say that it's not the only thing that define that, but they are definitely connected. Yeah, if the idea you're saying it is absolutely one of those legs. It's the stronger leg, if I'm honest. It's the leg with the tightest screws. It's the most robust leg. But no, look, there's family, there's friendship, there's all other types of sort of things going on in my life that I guess fill out that range. But it's absolutely connected to how I feel about myself as a person. Yeah. And my identity, absolutely. And as you said, Andy, I have several times put myself into the work as well, which is either an act of extreme, ego, or just something I kind of, have done over time, and probably illustrates how connected I am to the work. Yeah.